All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Gonna be touching on the top prop bets that we have today on both PrizePicks and Underdog. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, I'm mostly just going to be doing which prop bets are the best prop bets in this video. I will be going over some NBA, but NBA wise, we're not getting too much injury news and we're really just not getting that many prop bets just yet. So there's not too much to touch on. I'll get into that in just a second, but I want to start the video off with showing you guys the best prop bets that we have on both PrizePicks and Underdog. To me, guys, this is a very good prop bet that I have already went ahead and attacked. That's going to be Jaden Reed for over 4.5 receptions. This one has a 54% chance to hit. If you're looking at the receivers that they currently have right now, he's probably going to be their number one. They're going to be without Christian Watson and Wicks. I'm a Packers fan, but I think those two players are their top two, and then Reed is kind of more of a gadget guy, but with those two players being out, it's going to be Jaden Reed. He should be able to get there. We saw him get a few short pop passes in the receiving game as well. To me, I think that's a very good starting point today. Don't want to bury the lead because we are getting a very good tackles and assist prop as well. 55.8% likelihood for this one to hit. Now, I will say that with a prop like this, we typically aren't getting that many lines that are coming in during the day. It's probably just two sportsbooks that are pulling in that line right now, but all in all, we can see that's a good bet. So I'm perfectly fine pairing those two. We're getting Victor Hedman for over 0.5 assists, about a 54.7% chance. Evan Ingram for under 5.5 receptions. That's another very good one. It's very annoying because Flex Friday slip yesterday was terrible, okay? But also the board was, so it's not like shocking. I really wish we had this board yesterday. It would have made it much more easier to attack. We're getting so many good prop bets today. We got another tackles and assists prop for under 4.5. Two right here that are very good. 54% chance for those to hit. I don't mind the idea of doing George Pickens for over his receptions. We got Dak for over rushing attempts at 3.5. Like, we are getting a lot of great props today. So I wanted to start with that, but I also want to show you guys Underdog real quick as well because we are getting some edges there as well. So yes, for Underdog as well, guys, just looking at Evan Ingram is going to be a good one there for under his receptions. We can see CJ Beathard. I'm just kidding. CJ Beathard there for under passing yard. Pretty good likelihood for that one to hit. We're getting a couple of decent ones for college football. We got Allen for over rush yards. This is one that would work for PrizePicks as well. Zeke here, this is very interesting as well, and I like this prop bet a lot, assuming Stevenson is still out. Over 4.5 receptions, we can already see that PrizePicks has bumped this one up to 5 already, so that's a very good one. That's a good tell. Swift, if you want to do over receptions, 54% chance to hit. So guys, yeah, again, we have some very good prop bet. And then real quickly, I do want to get into some college basketball first, and then I'll begin to the NBA as well, simply because we are getting some good NBA prop, or some good college basketball props. And really, in NBA today, we're not getting as much as I would like. So starting out, we're getting a good EV bet for Adams Jr. for under 3.5 assists. Good bet there. We are getting two pretty good fantasy score props as well. Tyson Walker for over fantasy score. And I want to point this one out because this one is crazy good. So guys, if we look at it right now, sure, the over is not crazy, but like the over percent, about a 52% likelihood for him to get over 30.68 for a fantasy score. But the PrizePicks line is at 29.5. So already that's a small edge there. And then the average sportsbook line, again, would be at 30.1 or so. Looking at this, though, the projection data has it set at 31.3, and then Underdog has it set at 31.85. So that is a 2-point difference there between Underdog and PrizePicks, guys. There's a very good likelihood that you could bet the over here, which I'm saying is more correct on PrizePicks. That's the prop that's most likely to hit. But you could also bet the under on Underdog where, you know, there's clearly a wrong prop line here, right, between Underdog and PrizePicks. One of those two are clearly wrong. There should never be a 2 for a fantasy score difference. And for what it's worth, there was one day, I think it was last Saturday, where the college basketball props for Underdog were all a little bit overvalued. And I put out a slip showing that, and 4 out of the 5 hit. So it was a good kind of flex slip on, or insured slip on Underdog. And then Sheed for over fantasy score. This is a good one as well. We can see the prop line should be set about 33. The projection data agrees with that. So yeah, all in all, PrizePicks is definitely a little bit lagging on that. So now let's go ahead and get to NBA, guys. So again, 1, we don't have that many games, and 2, if we look at the injury report, not too much, nothing too crazy. Sure, for Miami, they are very banged up. If Butler sits and if Lowry sits and then Hawkes sits, like, we don't exactly know what to do. Tyler Hero would obviously get a big bump. Bam would obviously get a big bump. Duncan Robinson would be a high usage rate player then. That is just too much speculation to go off of right now. Continuing on, Isaiah Jackson sitting would mean that Jalen Smith would probably get a few more minutes. He'd be someone we could potentially be looking at. The Sixers, Embiid is still going to be out. I'll touch on this in a second, but we finally saw Maxey really have a good game. Not too shocking. He was very much due for a good game, but with that, then Melton had a poor game as well. It kind of seems like it's one of those, and I don't want to say big three, but one of those medium three, if you will. That 2 out of the 3 are going to have a good game, whereas the other one lacks. It kind of makes sense. Looking at Chicago right now, guys, Vooch is still out, so it's going to be Andre Drummond. Will they need to run him out as much? Maybe not. It could be a Patrick Williams game. All in all, Drummond has been a point per minute player. As long as he gets a lot of minutes, he's going to get a lot of rebounds. His rebound total was set at 15.5 last game, and I'm curious as to see what it'll be at tonight. Obviously, if Towns is out, we're looking at Ant-Man and Rudy Gobert to have a good game. That's a good matchup. Looking at Dallas, Luka, game time decision. We truly don't know. Kyrie's expected to sit. If those two all sit, it's kind of a toss-up. And so, yeah, you can kind of see why it's not really the best day just yet. And then looking at just the game totals, there's really one game that we probably want to be attacking. That's going to be the Pacers and maybe Dallas. That depends on if Luka's active. But yeah, looking at this game, 3.5 point spread, 247 for the over and under. So very nice there. And again, like maybe we're going to get a good Jalen Smith prop there. But right now, as I jump into the board that we are currently getting, we're not really getting that many great EV bets, or too many bets in general that are going to be good. So really, John Collins for over points, 10.5 is decent. The average sportsbook line would have this set at 11, and they'd be favoring the over there. The issue that I have is that the projection data would have it closer to 9.7. And so we take a peek at John Collins. He has not been playing as many minutes as he was at the start of the season. Now, part of that is due to games being blowouts. We know that. And so if we look at the game total, it is only a 2-point spread. So as long as this game does stay close, I do expect him to get, around 30 minutes. That's really the hope with him as a bet today, is that he is getting those minutes. And if he does get those minutes, we do know that he typically will get over this point total. Do want to call out, though, that when he was getting this heavy minutes, they were not this healthy. This is the healthiest Utah has been all season, and so that is why we are getting such a low line, and then tack on the fact that it is a more difficult matchup. All in all, though, I am fine with this bet. I think that is a good bet, even though the projection data doesn't love it. That obviously we don't. We want the projection data to agree. We want all the data points to agree, but all in all, that's going to be a fine bet. From there, we see Ant-Man for under 5.5 rebounds. That's okay. Lauri Markkanen, rebounds and assists under 10.5. That's okay. To me, these prop bets are all kind of feeling like we would probably just be forcing them. And that's why I didn't want to spend too much time on NBA today, simply because we aren't getting that many good prop bets. There wasn't enough to do like the deep dive today as it sits right now. And for what it's worth, guys, it's just a very limited board, as you guys can tell right now as well. So I was kind of waiting as long as I could. All in all, got to get out the content at some point. I will say, again, this is kind of the Washington-Portland treatment with Detroit, with them being kind of healthy. Isaiah Stewart's out, but betting on them to keep a game close is not a terrible idea. I mentioned this in the last game, had a pretty good slip with this, where, Bogdanovic's line was at like 23.5. I'm like, that is insanely too low. Even if they don't keep the game close, he should be able to get that over. And then Cade Cunningham as well. He's still getting a pretty low line today. But all in all, like, if you're betting on those two for over, you're betting on the game staying close. I don't mind the idea. Not the best bet, but again, very limited NBA board as it sits right now. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the bet of the day. To me, these bets I'm going to show you here, I would say they're better, just kind of like a Taco Tuesday day where I'm fine pairing them up together. So you might have more bets, but just knowing that probably, let's say 4 out of the 6 are going to hit. All right, so here we go. Getting into the bet of the day for PrizePicks right now. I'm going to be betting the 2 college basketball props. Those are 2 very good fantasy score props that we are currently getting, and then just kind of rolling with a bunch of good NFL props that we are currently getting. I could run out the John Collins 10.5 points. I'm fine with that. That's another good one as well. But right now it seems like really the best bets that we are going to get are going to be, Jayden Reed receptions over, Evan Ingram less than receptions. If you guys are just looking at bets today, you could tack on, these 2, Jake Ferguson for over 11.5 for a fantasy score, Kirby Joseph for over 4.5 tackles and assists. Those are going to be the best ones on PrizePicks currently. And then jumping into Underdog, kind of more the same. I do hate the fact that you can't stack Beathard and Evan Ingram together for this specific slip. I would have thought that would have been a good one. I am going to run out Tyson Walker then for under fantasy score there on Underdog. Again, we're getting a pretty big prop line difference there between PrizePicks and Underdog. A 2-point difference is very high. Dang, this one actually just started, so fortunate there. Zeke for higher than 4.5 receptions is a very good one, though, you know, again, PrizePicks has already bumped that up. I feel pretty good about that one. And then David Montgomery for lower than a touchdown. Basically, this is telling me that, and the data is giving this about a 54% chance to hit as well. Basically, this is a Jahmyr Gibbs game. If he's not scoring a touchdown, that's kind of what that's telling me. So do with that what you will. Again, guys, just want to call it that if you do go ahead and use that prop for Underdog and you guys haven't signed up for Underdog ever before, make sure you use the promo code 905. That's going to kick back some money to the channel, or to me, so that I can reinvest that into the channel, into the data and whatnot. But that's going to be all for today's video. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's have a good slate today. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe. If you guys want access to the prop tools, head on over to 95sports.com. They are available for just $10 a month. That gives you access to PrizePicks and Underdogs cheat sheets. Thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.